Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are excited to help you out today. We're really working and focusing on how to get kids to participate in a virtual environment. We've talked about the two keys. We've focused all on engagement, and now we're going to focus on, we focused on relationship, and now we're going to focus on engagement. So welcome, and hello, Melissa.
Hello.
In case you want to know who we are, I'm Jen Hensley, co-owner and effectiveness coach with Dynamics, and very passionate about online education. I have my PhD in it. I've been in education for 29 years and was lucky enough to lead in the digital environment for part of it. And we're welcoming Melissa Voss with us today. She has 23 years in education and a really unique, great background where she was in the digital environment, an online teacher and an online administrator, and then went into a traditional classroom where she is now teaching middle school. So welcome, Melissa.
Thank you.
We are super pumped about this topic. So we talked about relationships and how important that is, and that next one is talking about engagement. And it's critical that you get these things down and get kids in the habit of showing up and participating in your class, because we can't do anything. We can't teach them anything if they're not here.
Right. They have to want to come at some point. So what is it going to take for them to come?
Right. So this one's engagement. And we want you to start by thinking about these two questions. Would you want to come to your class online as you have it? Think about that. And if not, that leaves you to thinking about how you would change it, because you start thinking about how you learn online. And would you want to do the activities that you're asking the kids to do, the things that you're asking them to do on their own? Would you want to do those things yourself as a learner, as somebody who is consuming information? For me, if something's more than, 3 or 4 minutes, I may pass it unless I'm really interested. So we're going to talk about how you can get them engaged and how you can get them interested.
That's right. So it kind of turns into, Jenny, a game of would you rather. And so when I sit down to plan my week, I think about what I'm competing with. I teach language arts. So some of my students love to read and some of them don't. And I know that I'm competing with science and social studies and health and some of those classes that, are just really, really, really engaging and fresh. And I hope you don't get but everybody wants background is so worth it. It's worth it to be outside. So it is kind of a game of would you rather, and what would you rather do as an adult? So paying close attention to what you would prefer, and then knowing your audience and knowing what the kids are going to prefer. Watching a 20-minute video is not going to win anybody over. And no matter how important you think your content is, they're going to shut the lid. Think about your own behaviors online. You're picking and choosing, you're scrolling, everything's quick. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. I don't like this. Scroll or don't scroll, close the lid. So we've got to play that game of would you rather, and hopefully you win. Right. I think it's important to keep it fresh too, because
think about it makes you really get to what the essence of what you're teaching is. What is the most important thing for kids to take away? How can I break that down into little few-minute bites? How can I break the activities I'm asking them to do into little few-minute bites?
Right. I was in a meeting the other day, and it's not a compliment. I don't know that we really want to dwell on it, but a lot of times we say human nature, we're all lazy. So kids need to really very quickly find where their success is going to be. And that it brings us kind of to point number 2, which is the payoff. What's the payoff for coming? And they need to have a payoff pretty quickly. So are they going to get to see me? Am I going to tell a joke that day? Am I going to wear something silly? I teach middle school, so it's its own beast. Yes. Are they going to get to see their friends that day? Are they going to get to read something that they really want to read that day, or participate in a discussion where they give their opinions? So what is the payoff going to be? And I have an example of a flop, because nobody's perfect at this. I taught online for 14 years, but I'm in new parameters now, new rules, new group of kids. And I thought that particularly the first couple weeks, offering office hours where they could come and ask their questions was a good way to go. And a lot of us did do that. So I was cognizant, thoughtful about the timing. I know they don't get out of bed until about 10 o'clock. So, when do I think they're going to work? I had thought that all through. And I found that as much time as my middle schoolers spend online, I literally had 5 little faces staring at me like, why am I here? So they missed the red flashing. Yeah, they missed the red flashing. Come with a question. Oh no, I don't have any questions.
Yes.
And then, okay, so what did you do outside today? Fortunately, it was nice weather, and we could talk about. I could get to some of the social emotional concerns that I have and give them a chance to, just share out. But that peters out, and they're all just staring at me again. And I'm thinking, what's the payoff for this? What's the payoff for me? But what's the payoff for them?
Right.
So we ended up playing an impromptu Kahoot. We played a game. They loved it, and they come back. And now I've kind of flipped the way that looks synchronously. So you come with a purpose. I have a purpose for you. We have a little lesson. We have some engagement, interaction, and then I leave time for questions after the fact. So they're getting a payoff, but I'm controlling that payoff too.
Warm up for, you don't just come in and stare at each other. It's a warm up for some sort of activity that you're doing.
Right. And I don't think it's good use of time for teachers either to just open it up for questions and not know if kids are coming or not. So if you do have an environment where that's working, the question answer, and you know that you need to provide that for your kids, maybe have them sign up on a forum first so that you're not just sitting there live wasting your time for kids that don't come too. So yeah, that was a tweak that I learned week 2.
What would your example of your format now look like? Like now with your office hours, when you say you have an activity?
Well, I work on a team, which I know is not everybody's reality. I teach 7th grade. So there are 4 core teachers. And we decided early on that we wanted to provide an opportunity for kids to meet live every day somewhere. So I have a global perspective. I know what the kids are seeing in social studies. I know what they're seeing in science. I know what they're seeing in math, and know what they're seeing in language arts. So we coordinated. So my time slot is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's coordinated with other teachers on my team. Sure. So the kids can come and do that. And then we did have tea the other day. So 3 of us got on at the same time and had like a little lunch tea. And we were talking about books and that kind of thing. So it was really funny because the kids thought they were going into the social studies teacher's room, and then the language arts teacher was there too, and it was, wait, am I in the right spot? Yeah,
surprise.
Yeah. So that was
and then
fun.
you have like a question for them or an activity set up, or
we had an activity set up.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And then a Q&A at the end if they had it.
Yeah. So I think the things that you can do during those times are our next 2 things, which is how can you incorporate student choice into what you're doing? Everybody loves a choice, and we are full of choices now. We're in a culture of having choice for everything, almost too many choices. But so kids are used to that and they want that. So rather than saying, here is an assignment, this is how you can do it, giving them multiple opportunities, even leaving it open that if they have a way that they want to show learning, creating a video or who knows, a TikTok or something to demonstrate their learning so that they have a choice.
Yes, it gives them the illusion of more control. And we are in the habit, I feel like, of providing a lot of choice in the classroom nowadays, but it's much harder to do that in the traditional environment, to give a lot of choices. In the digital environment, I hope that teachers are planning together and sharing the preparations, and that frees up time to push out more choice. Mm-hmm. And I have heard some frustrations with teachers over the past few weeks. They're not doing everything that I want them to do. But when they have the illusion of being able to choose what they want to do, you're going to get more participation. So even if the lesson is the same, give them a lesson, but okay, guys, how are you going to show me? Do you want to come and talk about it? Do you want to take this quiz? Do you want to write up something for me? Giving them some choice on how they report back to you is an engagement factor.
And the last thing, I mean, all of these are things that I think we all want. So the last one is giving them a voice. And it's the idea that they have been brought up in this digital environment. And so ask them how it's going, what they liked, what they didn't like. Do they have any suggestions? I think giving them this opportunity to have a voice in how the class is organized and give you some ideas would really, really give them that motivation to participate.
I mean, we're all learners, and it's an opportunity for teachers to say, hey guys, I'm learning this too, which I think we're pretty open about doing, but giving them that voice and giving them that feedback, because ultimately you don't want to spend your time doing something that's not benefiting the students. So this past week we read, I again, in language arts, so we read a reader's theater live in Google Hangout. It was kind of a hot mess. We had a parrot, literally a parrot bird in the back. We had to learn how to mute our microphones, and we learned a whole bunch of soft skills that day. But I knew that the kids, that's one of their most favorite things to do in class is readers theater. So I knew I would get a whole bunch of participation, and I did. And they didn't care that the mics were squeaking and that people were forgetting their lines and that, we had things going on the cameras. They didn't care. And at the end I said, because to me it was pretty clunky. I at times I wanted to go like that. Exactly. But I could tell I had 26 and they didn't leave. They can leave at any time. They didn't leave. So at the end, I said, did you guys like this? Do you want to do this again? Oh yeah, we love this. This is great. So even though it was a technical, I won't say failure, but there were bumps in the road. Yes. They loved it, and they're so forgiving, and they want to try it again. So now, yay, and what will happen is they'll tell their friends, and then probably have
That's
to
have it brings all of it together. The relationships and the engagement. That example is a great one. So,
and one more thing before we leave. So we did ask them week one, what do you like? What don't you like? And the number one thing that our kids said at the middle school level was, I like it when my teacher makes a video. I like it when they talk me through the directions.
Oh, that's good.
And that was great feedback because that's easy for us. And now we know that time, because it's time consuming to do that, but now we know that time isn't wasted. So
Great. Well, we hope these have helped you. Give you some suggestions. Our 2 keys to get kids to participate, which are relationship and engagement. And as we've said in every single video, it's super important. If you can't get them to participate, you can't teach them anything. So take some time. If you're struggling with getting them to participate, take some time and focus just on these things. So thank you so much. The dogs are going to bark us out. And we will be back sharing you the comments, possibly what questions you have, what you want to see more videos about. Our goal is to provide this just-in-time support for you because we know this is a change and we know that you can do it. You got this. So hashtag teach and learn together, share with your friends, and we'll be back with some more videos and support things for you. So thanks,
Jenny.